4 easy laundry hacks that will save you $300 a year. Hi, I'm Hope from Under the Median. Welcome to Thrifty Thursdays, where every Thursday we share quick, easy tips, ways that you can spend less and save more. If you're unfamiliar with the channel, every week on this channel we talk about practical frugality and the real importance of living with a spirit of joy and abundance on a budget. If you're not subscribed to Under the Median, we would love to have you as part of our family. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button so YouTube will let you know every time that we drop a new video. This is the first of a 3-part series where I wanted to really break down some small ways that you can save small amounts of money that add up to large amounts of money over time. Because that's one of the mistakes people make when they think about budgeting, when they think about saving money, is they do not think that the small things that they do every day actually make a difference at the end of the day or at the end of the month as to how much money they can save. So this 3-part series is going to prove to you that those small things that you do make a difference and they can help you save money. So tonight we are starting in the laundry room. Perhaps laundry is one of those areas where you thought, well, you just spend what you spend and there's not a whole lot of ways that you can save money. Well, I have 4 actually really easy ways that you can save some money in the laundry room, and it will save you up to $300 per year. Now, I have a family of 4, so all of my calculations that I did as far as the monetary aspects of this are calculated on the family of 4 and the average amount of laundry that I do. So if you do less laundry or more laundry, then you may have to skew the calculations a little bit to fit your scenario. All right, let's get started. Tip number 1. Always wash in cold water. Now, I know some of you just cringed because all of those fabrics come with the warning labels that say wash in cold water, wash in warm water. If you have clothing that is colored, wash in this way. And if it's white, wash this way. Here's the deal. 90% of the fabrics that are used today in clothing are designed to effectively be washed in cold water. Why is cold water important? Because the cost of washing a load of laundry is somewhere between $1.50 and $2.50. But 90% of that cost is actually accrued in warming up the water, in heating the water if you are using hot water or warm water to wash your clothing. So you substantially and immediately cut down the cost of actually washing that load of clothes if you will wash in cold water. Now, I do an average of 18 loads of laundry a month. So for me, that means that I'm going to save $5 a month, but remember, we're talking yearly costs, so you're going to save $60 a year, cha-ching, right there, just by switching to washing in cold water. Tip number 2 is use less detergent. We're going to take a long, hard look at what the detergent manufacturers tell us we need to use on washing clothing and what the actual facts are. So this is Winfresh detergent. I'm using this as my example just because it's what we had in the house. This is the Sam's brand of detergent and it runs $18. Now, the first thing we look at is up here on the front. It says it does 215 wash loads per bucket. Now, whenever you see that, you need to actually turn the whole container around and look at the fine writing on the back to see exactly what they're talking about when they say 215 loads. This is the actual detergent scoop that was inside of the bucket. It turns out that 215 wash loads is determined by a regular use for a load. So a regular load is indicated right here in this green line. So if you fill the detergent up to the green line, that's considered detergent for a regular load. But here's the deal. If you do large loads, they instruct you to fill it to line 4, which is right up here, which is the red line. And being people who are overly cautious sometimes, I would actually predicate the idea that we're going to go ahead and fill it up the rest of the way because, well, a little bit more surely is probably what we need. So this is filled up all the way to the top. So the question is, how much detergent are we actually using when we fill it all the way up to the red line or to the green line, and how much do we really need to use? Let's take a look. Do you remember I showed you the scoop and I said most of us are probably going to just dip that scoop in there and go all the way up to the top? Well, if you do that, this pile of detergent represents that scoop all the way to the top emptied onto this poster board. And it is 10 tablespoons of detergent. The next pile is all the way up to number 4 on the detergent scoop. That represented what they suggested for a large load. Number 4 is 8 tablespoons of laundry detergent. You can see it's getting progressively smaller. This is what they said would allow us to do 215 loads of laundry using that 35-pound bucket of laundry detergent. That's 6 tablespoons. Now, here's what my research showed actually needs to be used. I have an older top load washer. In an older top loading washer, what you really need to use is 3 tablespoons of detergent. If you have a newer washer and it's energy efficient, front loaders only need 2 tablespoons of detergent. Look at the difference between this pile all the way over here, which is that laundry scoop they provided for you filled all the way to the top, 10 tablespoons. The difference between that and what you really need to use if you have a newer, energy efficient washer. So what does all this mean as far as you saving on laundry costs? Well, I'm going to show you exactly the impact of how much laundry detergent you use for every load, what that means for your savings across the course of a year. For my computations, I used my general load of laundry, which is about 4.5 loads a week. I came to that conclusion because I usually do 4 loads a week, but then there are those weeks where we have a few extra towels or we're going to wash up the bedding, that sort of thing. So I figured across the course of a year, we're going to say 4.5 loads per week. Now, let's take a look going back to our chart and I'll show you exactly what impact how much laundry detergent you use has on how much you can save. Now remember, the back of the laundry detergent bin said that it would last us 215 wash loads. Well, here's what happens when you actually wash clothing, filling this dispenser up all the way to the top of the container. Remember, that's 10 tablespoons of detergent. All of a sudden, you're not getting 215 loads. You're all the way down to 129 loads. And given the fact that I wash 4.5 loads of laundry every week, that detergent's going to last me about 7 months. Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 was that red line. The red line that is what they suggest that we fill it up to for heavy loads of laundry or full loads. And remember, earlier in the program, I encouraged you to do only full loads because you're actually going to save on energy costs and save more money doing full loads instead of small or medium-sized loads. So if you're doing a full load and you're actually putting 8 tablespoons of detergent in every time you do a load, it's going to last you for 161 loads or 9 months. Once again, line number 3. That line was the green line. That's what they said, fill it up to there if you are doing a regular size load of laundry. And once again, according to their computations, that 35 pounds of laundry detergent is going to last us 1 year at 215 loads. But look at the magic that happens when you actually do laundry with the amount of detergent that you need to put in there to do laundry. Remember, I have an old top loading machine, so I'm going to use 2 to 3 tablespoons. I'm going to assume the upper end of that at 3 tablespoons. All of a sudden, it's lasting me for 430 loads, or look at that, 2 years. Now remember, those front loaders only need about 2 tablespoons of detergent, 1 to 2 tablespoons of detergent. Over here, our top loader needed 2 to 3 tablespoons. So if we're going to say that if we're using 2 tablespoons on either a top loader or a front loader machine, we're going to get all of a sudden 645 loads of laundry out of that same 35-pound bucket of laundry detergent that the manufacturer told us would only last for 215 loads, and it's going to last us for 3 years. The last thing I want to show you before we move on is once again looking at this detergent dispenser. Remember, the red line is for large loads, the green line is for regular size loads, but look at this brown line right down at the bottom. That brown line I prominently drew on this dispenser shows you exactly what 2 tablespoons looks like in this detergent dispenser. Tip number 3, wash only full loads. We often put just a few things into the washing machine and wash either small or medium-sized loads and think it's just not going to make a difference. But the truth is, it really does make a difference. The difference between washing 2 small loads as opposed to putting all of those items together into one large load means that you're going to save somewhere between 25 and 50% of the costs per load. What does that look like when we extrapolate it out through the course of a year? It means that you're going to wind up saving $54 over the course of 12 months just simply by making certain that when you load up the washing machine, you're washing full loads. And the fourth and final hack for saving up to $300 altogether per year on your laundry costs is to line dry your laundry. Now, I know for some of you this seems like something your grandmother did, and that's because, well, your grandmother did do it. But I do it too because A, it makes good sense, and B, I love the way that laundry smells when it has been line dried. Now, if you don't have laundry lines in your backyard like I do, you actually can hang lines. If you have a utility room with open rafters, it is easy peasy, slicey cheesy to actually hang some laundry lines from the rafters to make certain that you can still line dry your laundry and you're just doing it inside. What kind of difference does this make economically to you? The cost of drying a load of laundry in a standard dryer, be that gas or electric, is going to average about 75 cents a load. Now, in my case, over the course of a month, over 18 loads, and calculating out to the cost of a year, that means in 1 year, I'm going to bank $162. Here are 2 ideas you can use if you find line drying to be a challenge. Let's say you live in an apartment or you're simply low on space. Just grab regular hangers, hang lightweight items from the hangers, and then take the hangers and hang them across the shower bar in your bathroom. Just make sure that there's enough space in between the items so that air can flow in there and the items will dry effectively and efficiently. The next thing that you can do is get one of these old-fashioned drying racks. They're readily available, say at church rummage sales or thrift stores. I got this one at a thrift store for about $5 last week. You set it up, and when you're not using it, it folds very compactly and just goes right against the wall. Once you get it set up, go ahead and put it into your bathtub. The reason you want to do that is because if any of the clothing drips a little bit of water or there's excess moisture, then it will be contained in the bathtub. But if you don't have a bathtub, you can always just put it on any surface that is not carpeted, and items will dry on here very efficiently. Couple more notes on line drying laundry. If you want your line dried laundry to smell really, really good, get a spray bottle, fill it with water, and then add just a few drops of an essential oil. I like lavender. Just spritz that on your clothing and it will make smell really, really good after it has dried on the line. One of the primary problems that most people see with line drying is the fact that towels do tend to turn out a little stiff and a little bit scratchy. Now, there's a couple of options here. One is that you can tell your kids, especially if they're teens, just say, you know what? That towel actually has great exfoliating possibilities when you use it when it is stiff and crunchy like that. Or alternately, you can just throw it in the dryer for about 10 minutes. It'll soften it up and it'll be just as though you had dried it in the dryer, but you've not had all the expense of drying it completely in the dryer. And there you have it. 4 quick and easy ways that you can change your behavior when it comes to doing laundry. It won't cost you a penny to implement these changes, and you will bank $300 a year. Let's review once again. We saved $162 by line drying our clothes, $60 by washing in cold water. We're going to use less detergent and save $18 a year and wash only full loads. That's a savings of $54 a year. The grand total, $294. I hope you found this really helpful. If you did, give the video a thumbs up and talk to me in the comments section. Tell me how you save on laundry costs. Remember, this is part 1 of a 3-part series that we're going to talk about saving small amounts of money that add up to big money over time. You're not going to want to miss part 2 and part 3, so make sure that you're subscribed and you've hit the notification bell. We'll see you next week.